Matt Mullenweg once said, technology is best when it brings people together. And that is exactly what we are going to do in this event. Hello, good morning ladies and gentlemen. Selamat pagi, annyeonghaseyo. My name is Prisca Niken and I am extremely delighted to welcome all of you on today Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1, 2021. Let's hear a round of applause, everybody. Yay, thank you so much. Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia has launched in Indonesia in 2019, but started the first acceleration program for Indonesian startups in February 2020. Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia successfully accelerated around 8 startups in 1 year, despite the pandemic situation. And today's event is called Virtual RunNovation Day. Why? This because RunNovation is combination of word run and innovation, which means innovation by Shinhan Futures Lab and startup members, which are carried out quickly, like people who do running. So, ladies and gentlemen, an exciting morning awaits you that is full of idea and solution. Coming from the bright and brilliant startup community, get ready for the phenomenal display of emerging technology. Doesn't that sound exciting? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today's rundown will divide into 4 lanes. Each lane portrays startup business focus and representative, starting from business service solution, called chain enabler, and after that, we will have 2 special guests as keynote speaker. And after that, we will continue the session with health tech, and lastly, fintech sector. Now, before we got too much away to do of the event, we have a lineup of dictionaries waiting to share their experiences of being part of Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia Accelerator Program journey so far. But before, please let me welcome our special guest for today, Mr. Sunny Lee, Chief Digital Officer of Shinhan Financial Group, Mr. James Lee, Head of Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia, Mr. Chandra Firmanto, Managing Partner Indogen Capital, Mr. Rachmat Kaimuddin, CEO of Bukalapak, and of course, founders of 8 startups which we are proud of, from OKHOME, KODI, Job2Go, QUIKS, ETANEE, ZI.CARE, MODAL RAKYAT, and KOALA. Ladies and gentlemen, the Virtual RunNovation Day is a celebration of everything that startups represent. The company, generation, milestone, customers, or revenue. It is about the pure grit, drive, and determination that founders go through to create something new and innovative, and hopefully something with the right product market fit that will go on to form the next wave of technology. Now we are going to present a greeting video from Mr. Sunny Lee, Chief Digital Officer of Shinhan Financial Group.
Halo, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Sunny Lee, CDO of Shinhan Financial Group. It is my great pleasure to greet the first and second term startup members of Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia by online. Shinhan Financial Group is the largest financial group in Korea with banks, securities, insurance, and cars as its subsidiaries surpassing annual profit of more than $3 billion. Since 2015, Shinhan Group has been operating Shinhan Futures Lab and has a keen interest in creating digital startup ecosystem. Shinhan Futures Lab is acknowledged as the benchmark of startup accelerating program in Korea, fostering $32 million of investments, 80 VC networks, and 130 business partners. We are also expanding our overseas network through various global hubs, including Vietnam, Indonesia, and Silicon Valley. We plan to continue to invest in scaling up startups in the future. Indonesia is a high potential market with a population of 270 million people and an average age of 29. It is also a great country for startups with 5 unicorn companies and around 3,000 startups growing actively. With this in mind, Shinhan Futures Lab was established to discover and foster prospective startups in Indonesia. We also support Korean companies to expand their businesses in Indonesia and to find business collaboration model with the local Shinhan. Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia also prepare Virtual RunNovation event for the first and second term companies to understand businesses. We invited around 40 VCs, including Korean investors, to provide investment opportunities. I hope today's opportunity can lead to more business opportunities in collaboration areas. In the future, Shinhan Futures Labs Indonesia plans to foster more startups in various fields, providing mentoring, networking, and investment opportunities and collaboration opportunities with Shinhan. We will continue to support our members even after the completion of initial Shinhan Futures Lab Foster program. Please feel free to suggest any additional support required from Korean through the Indonesian office. Lastly, please stay safe from COVID-19, and I hope to see you in person in the near future. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sunny Lee, for those powerful words. And yes, our startup is ready to carpe diem despite the pandemic situation. Moving on, and now I would like to invite Mr. James Lee from Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia to deliver the opening remarks. Over to you now, Mr. James Lee.
Selamat pagi semua. Assalamualaikum. Saya James Lee, pimpinan dari Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia. First of all, thank you, Sunny Lee, CDO of Shinhan Financial Group, for the greeting. Also, thank you to VC partners and the startup members for participating in this event, despite your busy schedule. After the opening the Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia office in September 2019, Shinhan Futures Lab has accelerated 16 startups, 8 Korea startups hoping to enter Indonesia, and 8 Indonesia startups. Shinhan Futures Lab first and the second batch startup will participate in these events. Hopefully, they will lead Indonesia startup in the future. They are MODAL, RAKYAT, KODI, ETANEE, OKHOME, QUOALA, ZI.CARE, Job2Go, and QUIKS. Regarding the events, Virtual RunNovation Day today, there is a reason why we named it RunNovation. RunNovation is a combination of the word learn and innovation, which means innovation by Shinhan Futures Lab and the startup members, which are carried out quickly like people who do a learning. The Virtual RunNovation Day is a celebration of everything that startup represents, their efforts on creating something new, innovative, and impactful to the society. Hopefully, their efforts also go well together with future technology and sustainability. Since Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia just operating the acceleration program not a long time ago, we still have a lot of things to learn. However, Shinhan Futures Lab will keep growing our network to mentors, business partners, VCs, media partners for our promising startup members. In the future, Shinhan Futures Lab will provide more business opportunities through the digital ecosystem. This event is not the end, but the beginning. For the development of first and second batch startup members, Shinhan Futures Lab will continue to support you. Terima kasih. Salam sukses untuk semua. Thank you.
James Lee, for the wonderful speech, and hopefully in the near future there will be a lot of Indonesian startups that become Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia Accelerator Program. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you're getting more excited to participate it, so keep that spirit up. In the meantime, it's time for me to introduce our first session in this Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1 2021. So please put your hand together for Business Service Solution Sector.
Nama saya Jin dari OKHOME. Saya salah satu co-founder OKHOME dan sekarang jabatan saya Direktur Operasi. Terima kasih. We aim to provide total home care platform. As of now, we provide home cleaning service and disinfection and AC service with our own mobile application. We also provide the property maintenance solution for the PropTech clients and the house owners who have multiple properties to keep its cleanliness and hygiene. We want people to save their time for something which is more important for them. Actually, we saw a lot of people wasting their time with their housemate because lack of their service quality or attitude, which can be well provided by us. Also, 1 or 2 person household is growing so fast, especially in urban area. Actually, those small families, they don't need the residential housemate like before, but they need reliable on-demand solution like us, which can be bigger potential for us. For 4 years of service experience, we become the biggest home cleaning service provider in Greater Jakarta area. We have served thousands of cleaning services with hundreds of our professional manpowers, with rapid growth, which is bigger than 30% of monthly growth, even in this pandemic situation. Well, actually, we already have successful partnership with the leading PropTech companies like Jendela 360 or Rumi or Mamikos in here. I think we can be ideal partners of the PropTech, which provides the living experience with their own property, which contains the residential area or even the commercial area like office or restaurant or shops. It can be also our partners. Also, we would like to collaborate with the manufacturers like mattress, refrigerator, or air purifier or water dispensers, which needs professional cares to maintain its service quality of its gadgets, which can be professionally supported by our professional staffs. It seems we are the only company that provides the anti-COVID guarantee solution with the regular tests with our staffs. Not like other companies which just provides the matching service with their service providers and the customers. We provide the totally standardized in-house staffs who already finished our long-term trainings. I think that's the reason like more than 90% of our customers, they use our service again. And also that's the way we achieve this rapid growth even in this pandemic situation. This year, we will expand our service to other cities out of Great Jakarta area. We are planning to add more services like babysitters or drivers or rental services on our service portfolio to provide better customer experience. Well, they supported us a lot with many various mentoring program or network chances. So with their support, we have exposed our brand a lot to various channels and like some kind of business partners. So actually, we appreciate them a lot. Thank you very much, Shinhan. One word, high qualified. Well, with us, you can save your valuable time for something more important for you. Terima kasih.
안녕하세요. KODI 대표 인라입니다. KODI is a community banking platform that enables communities and cooperatives to manage their collective business together. We provide software as a service core banking platform to create a product in microfinance activities within the community for communities and cooperatives in rural areas as well as urban areas. I was born and raised in rural areas, so I know firsthand the benefit of community for financial inclusion. I've been involved in cooperative ecosystem for more than 10 years. And with my previous experience as the ambassador of global cooperative entrepreneurship for youth, I equip myself and my team to accelerate cooperative ecosystem, cooperative business in Indonesia. KODI has gained government support to digitize 1,000 cooperatives and SME in rural and urban areas. And last year, we are part of United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, Financial Innovation Lab. Currently, we are enabling 15,000 cooperative members to give them access for financial inclusion and microfinancing activities. We are looking for collaboration with fintech company or banks that have technology in e-money that enable free or affordable transfers and cash out for people in rural areas. Currently, we are early stage startup looking for pre-series A. This year, we have a healthy growth with 2 government contracts. We are looking for around 150K US dollar. We are aiming to create and support sustainable financial communities and have a prosper collaboration among them. For Shinhan Future Labs, as we, KODI, are still in early stage startup, we are very glad that to be part of Shinhan Future Lab community. Shinhan has helped us to shape our company culture with those amazing mentors. Shinhan also exposed us to various news outlets and investors around Indonesia. We would like to bring an Indonesian culture to the world, that this is the honesty of Indonesians gesture. For financial inclusion in Indonesia, for the opportunity to accelerate technology in financial. Let's collaborate and deliver impact. 감사합니다.
안녕하세요. Job2Go 대표 kurniawan입니다. Job2Go is a hiring platform. We are helping businesses, especially small and medium enterprise, to connect with quality worker. We're helping them to get the best worker and also helping them in manage their worker, including their payment and connecting them with the financial services inside our application. We are motivated to build Job2Go because we see Indonesia is the biggest digital economy in Southeast Asia. We want to be part of this ecosystem to helping the small and medium enterprise to go digital, helping them with connect them with the best worker and growing together with the economy. During 2020, we built our platform. We are trying to connect it with our user, both the worker and also the businesses. We learn together with them to find the best and suitable platform for them to grow their business. In this year, we're ready to go and grow bigger in the market, not only in Indonesia, but also in Southeast Asia in the near future. We're really happy to connecting with the bigger ecosystem. For instance, we're happy to connect with a digital platform that helping the businesses. For instance, the e-commerce, the business on demand, and also the e-money and also other financial services. And also from the business perspective, we would like to connect with the businesses like food and beverage, retail, and also logistic and also home industry to expand our business. We are currently open for new fundraise to help us to improve our product, expand our market, and also growing our team. Job to go vision is to be the essential part of SME growth in Indonesia. We want to be part of digital transformation in Southeast Asia in the near future. We are proud to be part of the Shinhan Future Lab Indonesia second batch. Why? Because we are so happy that we are connected into the VC in one-to-one VC connection. We also, there is a lot of mentors that teaching us for new learning and also doing some of the experience with them. And also very important is because we can experience this space as a working space together with our team, with the friendly SFL members here. Snapping fingers, because we want our platform to be as friendly as possible for business to get their best worker and also as easy as possible for workers to get job. Let's grow together and making big impact with Shinhan Future Lab. Hamza Hamnida.
What an exciting presentation, starting from total home care platform and then continue with community banking platform that empower cooperative and communities. And lastly, hiring platform that connect businesses, especially SME with quality workers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Q&A session. Some VCs has delivered us the question before this event, and now we are starting by order. First, we got OKHOME question from Vertex Venture. And please, Vertex, help us raise your hand. And now Vertex Venture can deliver the questions for OKHOME.
Hi, this is Lena from Vertex Venture. My question would be, how are you different from competitors out there?
Representative from Vertex Ventures may help us by raising your hand on Zoom platform.
Hi, this is Lena from Vertex Ventures. My question would be, how are you different from competitors out there?
Okay, this is Jin from OKHOME. So most of our competitors are just matchmakers. Actually, they just simply connect the service provider and the customer without enough training or some kind of security systems. So that's why most of our customers, they feel a lot of difference, especially in their using experience or service quality. Also, in case if there is any problem, like let's say like damage cases or service quality issue, we have really well established the service customer service. So that's the reason they will have a totally different experience, because our involvement rate is quite higher than them.
Got it.
Okay, now for the second question will be delivered by SV Investment. This question is delivered to us before this event. So SV Investment, please raise your hand and share the question for OKHOME.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Sorry. Just I just need to sneeze. Sorry. So I actually wonder how you retain your revenue So, and my perspective is that lots of home care platform has a non-recurring revenue. Sorry, the loyalty of the customers is the questions. So, how do you maintain those revenue retaining? How do you retain those revenue stream on a monthly basis?
Well, as I told you, as I told in the previous question, actually it depends on their experience. So a lot of customers, they told us that they have really different experience after using our service. So literally they feel, how can I say, they feel they don't need to care anything more after using our service. So that's why most of our customers, they use our service again. And actually, almost all of our customers, they use our service kind of with like a subscription. So most of them, they prefer to use in regular schedule. So, and they just keep renew the subscription.
I see. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the question and the answer. There's still one questions left for OKHOME that will be coming from Fanel. So Fanel, please deliver your question. For Fanel, we can hear your sound, but please turn on the video also. Okay, we have 1 minute left. Thank you for Fanel, but another VC, if you have some questions to ask for OKHOME, you can raise your hand on Zoom platform and we can help you to share the question to OKHOME. Is there any VC who want to ask OKHOME? Ladies and gentlemen, if there's still no more questions for OKHOME, then maybe after this session, if there's appear up some question for OKHOME, you can surely give the question to OKHOME. And then we move to next Q&A session. It will be for KODI. The first question will be delivered by Vertex Venture. So please, Vertex Venture, time is yours.
Hi, so what has been your go-to-market strategy in terms of trying to get these corporations to go on board?
Thank you for the question. Our go-to-market strategy, we have two strategies from the top-down approach and the bottom-up approach. The top-down approach is based on the government contract that we this year we received one government contract. So basically, the Ministry of Cooperative have a decree that we need to digitize 1,000 cooperative, and the ministry themselves provide those 1,000 cooperative for us. That's the top-down approach. And the bottom-up approach is we educate resellers agents to be our reseller agent on the field. So that's two. And for the employee cooperative, most of all, we approach their associations, like labor associations for factories. And in fact, each factories in Karawang, in industrial complex, they have cooperatives employee. So instead of knocking doors on each business or each cooperative, we connect with their associations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, KODI. So the next questions for KODI will be coming from SV Investment. So please, SV Investment, here's your time for KODI.
Hello. Thanks for the presentation. I think first of all, I kind of forgot what question that I list down, so I'm just gonna ask from your presentation and what my thoughts on that. So one of the key problems in kooperasi in Indonesia, so to speak, is the how you can maintain the governance between the kooperasi itself. So if you can elaborate your governance on that and how you manage the risk between the financial system that you're creating for them, that will be great. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Basically, it's about the governance of kooperasi.
Question SV Investment and Pak Indra.
Yeah. Allow me to answer that questions. So basically about the governance, we provide a complete solution for the financials tracking, sort of speaking. So we provide a core banking system for them. We provide as transparent as possible so that their members are allowed to see the cooperative financial activities. Yes, we make it that way so that their governments are transparent and their members are able to create a bridge of trust between cooperative management and cooperative members. That's one. And the second one is we get in touch with the government official, the local governments that provide monitoring and education for these cooperatives. So we help those cooperatives on the government side, the governance for cooperative on that. Thank you.
I see. If I can ask the further
Thank
question.
Thank you, Pak Indra, for the explanation. Hope it went well for SV Investment. But for other VCs who attending this webinar in this morning is also welcome to give questions for KODI. If there's anything you want to ask, just please raise your hand on the Zoom platform and we will help you to deliver the question. And ladies and gentlemen, okay, SV Investment still has questions for KODI. So please deliver the message, sir.
Thank you. Hello, Pak. So just wondering, what is the future angle for KODI? I personally love what you've done. I think kooperasi is an essential part, but isn't, how do you say, is not optimized yet. So how do you see KODI contribute to the growth of kooperasi, and how do you see the overall industry in the future?
So kooperasi itself, the kooperasi ecosystem is a captive market because kooperasi as a captive market, they have their members that very loyal to the cooperatives. And we also have an ecosystem that the members are working to the cooperatives. So in the future, we're trying to create a platform that enables collaboration between cooperatives, like, for example, tradings between consumer cooperative and producers cooperatives. Because in those ecosystems, in those closed loop, so to say, closed loop ecosystem between cooperative and cooperative, and it is more lucrative because they have their own closed ecosystem. So we're trying to build not marketplace, not just marketplace. We're trying to build an ecosystem that connecting the needs of consumer ecosystem and providing the demands from the distributor or distributors cooperation, producers cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mas.
Okay, thank you, sir. Pak Indra from KODI, and also the Vertex Venture and SV Investment for the question. And ladies and gentlemen, for the next Q&A session, please be ready, job to go, because within the first session, we also received some questions for job to go from Shinhan Capital. So please, Shinhan Capital. Next, we also have questions again from Fairtex Venture. So please, Fairtex Venture, the time is yours for deliver the question for Job to Go.
Thank you. I understand Jobs to Go has several different services. I guess my question would be, which one would be your main revenue driver?
Okay, thank you for the question. Of course, we do have two main, business model and revenue stream, which is the first is the hiring services. Basically, what we do is connecting the businesses, especially small and medium enterprise, to worker. So the monetization gonna be is like if you got your quality workers and then you have to pay for the platform, that's the service that we give. And then further than that is actually as the business is using our platform, and also both the business and workers is actually, and then we push the next monetization, which is the access to financial services, helping the business to use our platform for their simple payroll. So basically it's a P2P transfer. And then also connecting them with the financial services like loan and other things, including billers. So I think with the entry point as as a hiring services, but actually what we're trying to do is actually building the system that will be used by the businesses to manage their business, helping them connect to the financial services, and then eventually growing together with us.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Nice, thank you. Thank you also for Fairtex Ventures. And the next question will be coming from SV Investment. Please, sir, time is yours.
Hi, Mas again. I'm very sorry. I kind of forgot like the question list that I put on the form. But yeah, I've experienced investing in talents kind of technology. So I'm just wondering, what is your revenue model? I think ads, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I understand your business model quite differently than it in reality. But in my perspective, the way is that on the job platform is that you put some ads on your platform, and then you connect them with the companies who needs talents, right? But how do you see to monetize that kind of network? I think along the way you will acquire more business users as well as this pool of qualified talents, right? How do you think to monetize that in the long run?
I think what we are trying to do in our main is not the advertising business. It's more to building the like the big data inside our application. It's both sides, like the business behavior, how they recruit people, where their business is growing, how they grow across the region, and then how much they pay their like their employee across the time. So it's giving like more into monetization that for the use of other businesses like the banking, the financial, like the loan sectors, as part of like helping them to grow. So we are not interested to use their data for advertising. I believe that's how we help them more is and then to utilize their behavior inside our application as to helping them to grow even more. So basically we can we can give some advice to other businesses like banking or like other service provider. How is our users growing, what they need, and actually what's their profile, what's their behavior across the time. So I think that's towards that, including for the workers. I think we'll know that if you apply for like the hiring platform, you tend to give your real data, right? And then along the way we will know their movement, they're working for different industry, different company. We know their like their salary. So basically it's kind of giving like kind of simple credit score for to be used in the future. So it's not more to answer your question. It's not more. It's not to advertising type like other like hiring platform, but more to the like big data used for other purposes.
I see.
Yeah.
Got it. So in a way, you kind of like leveraging those big data that you acquire to kind of help businesses to deliver a more a good service level, right?
Yeah, I think what we know, if you go to like hiring platform, it's really expensive to post advertise a job, getting worker, because like you have to pay a lot of money. But what we do differently, we make it's always free to like use our platform, but then they will happy to use our platform for other things like doing the payroll and then things like that.
I see. Got it. Thank you, Mas.
Thank you.
Nice, thank you, Mr. Kurniawan from Job2Go and also SV Investment. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Q&A session for the first line is almost finished. Before we move to the next session, I would like to ask another VC. If there's any question that you want to ask, you can deliver the question by us or directly reach the startups you want to address. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we also have to take a break. I would like to ask you, let's together watch the commercial break and make sure you stay because we will be coming back right after the break on Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1 2021.
Memajukan perekonomian Indonesia dengan revolusi koperasi. Kenapa harus koperasi? Menurut Bung Hatta, koperasi adalah model ekonomi kerakyatan yang bisa mensejahterakan rakyat Indonesia. Menurut Departemen Koperasi dari total koperasi di Indonesia, sebanyak 212.000, koperasi yang aktif hanya berjumlah 150.000. Kenapa? Pengelolaan keuangan yang buruk oleh pengurus koperasi, laporan keuangan yang tidak transparan, sehingga masyarakat sulit percaya kepada koperasi. Anggota lalai membayar iuran sehingga koperasi kekurangan modal. Kelalaian anggota membayar cicilan kredit sehingga koperasi mengalami kredit macet. Namun, kini ada solusinya. Dengan aplikasi Koper Rakyat, koperasi dapat lebih profesional dalam pengelolaan simpanan dan pinjaman anggota. Anggota dapat melihat kinerja keuangan koperasi dan saldo simpanan, sehingga tingkat kepercayaan anggota meningkat. Koper Rakyat terintegrasi dengan bank, sehingga anggota tidak perlu datang ke koperasi. Para anggota dapat dengan mudah mengajukan kredit untuk modal usaha, bayar angsuran melalui aplikasi atau melalui ATM yang bekerja sama. Dilengkapi beragam fitur menarik lainnya. Bersama Koper Rakyat, Indonesia siap dalam persaingan di masyarakat ekonomi ASEAN.
Introducing Job2Go, the future of job super app. Why? Because the entire job search process from job discovery, recruitment process, job execution, all the way to worker payment can be done at Job2Go. Fast. How we do it? We develop our app that enables the fast registration process. It can be done in 1 minute. Super fast, right? Our AI and machine learning enable efficient and scalable worker and job matching process. Worker will be notified for any suitable job that they pick. Worker also can apply for any of job they interested in the job list. The Job2Go recruiter dashboard developed so it is very easy for a company to post job and process the recruitment flow. With the Job2Go workforce management tools, we enable the job to be executed within the application. Worker application WM capabilities, work assignment, scheduling, attendance, location monitoring, and many more. Within our app, worker can manage their income. They can withdraw. Are we going to develop an application commerce like digital purchase, investment, and many more? With all the capabilities, Job2Go is the solution for any related use case in all application used to find jobs. Download our app in Google Play Store and Apple Play Store, or you can visit our website in www.job2go.net.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, now it's time for me to introduce the second lane in this Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1 2021. Please put your hand together for Cold Chain Enabler Sector.
Hello, saya Johnson Lim, CEO dari QUIKS Project. Our business model is, motorbike based. It's the B2B cold chain delivery services. So we provide, we deliver the fresh and the frozen food, such like the beef or the ice cream or the fish, is whatever the frozen food is to deliver to and our customers. Actually, before I just launching the service of QUIKS, I had experience GPS monitoring system and 10 years in Indonesia. So most of our customer is a logistics company. 3 years ago, I had just a project with the McDonald's to cold chain delivery service by truck. But at that time, I realized there are just two problems. One problem is even though the small just product, we should use a truck. And second one is in Jakarta, there is just so much traffic jam. So that both is not efficient way. That's why I wanted to solve this problem. So that's why I just opened just QUIKS frozen services. Actually, we started our commercial services last year, January. So only just past 1 year, yeah. And during the 1 year, our company growth is very fast. And we opened just 7 main QUIKS spots, and also operating more than just 30 motorbike with a frozen box. And also we contracted with the second largest of beef importer in Indonesia, and also several food tech startup, such like a Tiny Hub and ETANEE, something like that. Our company is, wanna just cooperate with food tech-based startup. At the moment, it's in Indonesia. There are many just food tech-based startups just booming. Yeah, such like the Box, it's a Fresh Box, it's a Cigara, or some of other just organic just startup e-commerce. That one is this kind of companies. QUIKS is a nice option to cooperate together. So I hopefully this year. I just get a more contract and more work with that kind of company. Company just finished the Free A fundraising 1 month ago. Yeah, so we got just investment from the Korea VC and the America VC. Yeah, so another just Series A, we're gonna plan to open in the third quarter in this year. Yeah, this money is we're gonna scale up our just logistics and also expand our business to just the e-commerce area. Our goal is number one, and the cold chain 3PL logistic company in Indonesia. Yeah. So in the future, we hopefully deliver all over just food and the product as 100% fresh. And all of the Indonesia within the 1 day. Shinhan Futures is the program, startup program. I think this is one of the best option in Indonesia. Yeah, they are so just professional and they support to a startup how they increase and how they just scale up very fastly. So hopefully someone wanna just start up in here and yeah, just try to be a member of Shinhan Futures Lab. QUIKS define is cepat. Yeah, we provide frozen and fresh food very fast and safely. At the end of this year, you can see our orange front box motorbike anywhere in Jakarta. And I guarantee you can just eat gelato ice cream in your home by QUIKS Frozen. Terima kasih.
안녕하세요. ETANEE 대표 Heri입니다. ETANEE is a digital food supply chain platform that is specialized in creating cold chain ecosystem for frozen and fresh products using social commerce. We help to provide good quality products in a very convenient way to end customer and B2B customer by connecting food suppliers, logistic point, and delivery services using automation technology. Indonesia is a very huge country with thousands of islands where supply chain has become a major issue in distributing fresh produce from smallholder farmers in rural area to the end customer at the urban cities. We do believe that technology should resolve this issue to help both sides, improve the welfare of the food producers, and help to provide quality products for the end customer. Our business model is sharing economy with people involvement to gain economic benefits along the value chain. We have created new jobs for thousands of our resellers, especially during this pandemic. We are seeking any partners that will be synergized with us on commercial operation, like food suppliers, distribution companies, or cold chain technology providers are open to collaborate with us. We are looking for strategic partner and equity investment at $1 million to cover our next growth ambition, covering 20 cities and acquire 500,000 new users. Our next 3 years vision is to become a leading food supply chain platform in Indonesia, covering 300 cities, accelerating inclusive economic growth, create new jobs, and improve the better welfare for all the food supply chain from farm to table. We are so happy and proud to become the first batch participants of Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia Acceleration Program. It was very helpful and providing new insight and best practices from resource mentors. We expect to grow to the next level and having collaboration with Shinhan's group networks at Indonesia as well as at the regional level. This is e-letter, means ETANEE, and it represents checklist that means success. We expect to grow to the next level and having more collaboration with Shinhan's group network in Indonesia as well at regional level. With ETANEE, you will experience an easy shopping while giving impact to the society. Kamsahamnida.
What an exciting presentation. Both startups clearly has a good practical solution towards cold chain problem by connecting food suppliers, logistic points, and delivery services using technology. And now it's time for the Q&A session. First, we got ETANEE questions from several VC. So ETANEE, please be ready. And the first question will be delivered by Funnel. So please, Funnel, time is yours.
Hi. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear, but there's another voice background. Yeah, please. Okay, yeah. So I have a question for QOALA. Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry,
my
Funnel. I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you?
Pardon me. This is the Q&A time for ETANEE.
Oh, ETANEE.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, for ETANEE, my question was, what has changed since COVID-19, and then what's your strategy for the next 2 years? Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So I think this pandemic is giving somehow a good impact for us because the traction and the demand is skyrocketing. So I think last year, during the first phase of the pandemic, I think our growth is almost 5 times higher compared to the normal time. So I think especially during the peak season, approaching Ramadan and Hari Raya, so we are preparing for the new supporting resource to cover those high demand again this year.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sure,
And the next question for ETANEE will come from Shinhan Capital.
Hi, thank you so much for your pitching. I am very impressed, and I got a question for ETANEE. First of all, for the delivery manpowers, are they contracted or do they belong to ETANEE?
Okay, so for the transport partners, so we use third-party transporters. So in this case, we have collaboration with QUIKS, also the participants of this the second batch, and also we integrate the API to ZI.CARE, the aggregator for courier and shipping for services. So we don't manage it ourselves, but we have our own apps to connect it to the other 3PL apps. Yeah.
Is that clear, sir?
Yes, thanks for your answer. And the other question is, how do you strategize the lock-in mechanism between supplier and customer, and how do you manage it? How do you manage it from back end?
Okay, so actually our approach is using sharing economy. So actually the business model is we creating the supply ecosystem. So we engage the society. So any people as the logistic hub, we call it stockist. So they will be the operator of the logistic point, the warehouse, but we enable them with the technology, with the digital platform in terms of order management, inventory management, and how they connect with the further supply chain process, like the delivery as well as the supply from another sourcing suppliers. So in a simple way, we manage the main suppliers, which is the manufacturer, to the logistic hub, which is the chain of where the people is involved as the operators, and then last mile delivery will be connected with our also third party suppliers. So we are actually the supply chain enablers using technology. That's the idea. Thanks.
Okay, I see. Thanks. In terms of expansion of business, for currently, how much do you cover in Indonesia, and how do you strategize to expand your business all over the Indonesia nationally?
Okay, sure. So for the last 2 years, we have covered the greater Jakarta, Jabodetabek. Yeah. So I think this year we will expand to optimize the density in 3 major provinces, Jakarta, West Java, and Banten. So we will cover another 20 cities coming up. But in the next 3 years, we plan to cover the whole Java Island. And we have some agreement with the big suppliers, which has been access and present in the whole Java Island. So I think this just we are preparing for the resource to cover all those plan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ETANEE, and also thank you, Shinhan Capital, for the question. For another VC on the list, we are so sorry because of the time limitation, but surely you can still share the questions or directly reach the startup you want to address or you want to ask. For the next Q&A session, we will have QUIKS. QUIKS, please be ready because there are several questions. The first will be coming from Vertex Ventures.
Hi. So I understand that cepat means quick. So would you say that your main value proposition is because of quick, or does pricing also come into play?
Actually, QUIKS is every Koreans know just the QUIKS means. Yeah, the QUIKS is the cepat in Korea. Just usually the QUIKS in quick service is in Korea. It means quick delivery service by mobile. That's why I usually.
Okay, thank you, Vertex Ventures. And the second question for QUIKS will be coming from Fanel. So please, Fanel.
Yeah, okay, thank you. My question would be, okay, so my question for QUIKS would be like, how do you see the potential in the frozen food startup delivery in Indonesia? Thank you.
Actually, in Indonesia, it's now still cannot just get just the ice cream, at home and the cake as well, and also it's for the B2B side, and all the just company who just delivery frozen food, they are just struggle to deliver because of traffic jam, and just cold chain truck and logistics cost is so high. Yeah. Actually, I have experience I had experience to just on GPS monitoring service. So we know just well about the logistics market. Yeah. Still, there's only one just 3PL company now. Yeah. So there's just still just empty business sector. Yeah. That's why I just enter this market.
Okay. Thank you. Got it.
Thank you also from Fanel. And the next question will be coming from Shinhan Capital.
Hi, thank you so much for your pitching and your contents. I have questions for you. Can you explain how many partners are you increasing by periods?
Okay, actually, as I already just explained the pitching, and we just starting the commercial services last year, January. At that time, we have only one B2B customer, but at the moment we just have around 15 customer already. Yeah, so during the 1 year we just get just a lot, but it could be just fast more. Yeah.
Thank you, QUIKS, for the answer, and also thank you, Shinhan Capital, for the questions. Before we have Vertex Ventures and also Fanel. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for the exciting session. And now let's take a moment to together watching the commercial break. And right after this, we will coming back with the keynote session. Please stay on Shinhan Future Lab Indonesia, Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1, 2021.
ETANEE adalah singkatan dari e-commerce untuk hasil pertanian. Merupakan aplikasi yang menghubungkan antara produsen yaitu petani, peternak, nelayan, dan produsen pengolahan. Kemudian saluran distribusi yaitu pedagang grosiran, pedagang eceran, serta pedagang di pasar rakyat yang semuanya terhubung dengan konsumen akhir di rantai hilir. Sistem ETANEE menghubungkan secara digital rantai supply, rantai distribusi, dan konsumen secara cepat dan efisien. Informasi patokan dan harga dapat diketahui dengan cepat dan transparan oleh seluruh rantai pasok dan distribusi, sehingga pada akhirnya dapat mengendalikan stabilitas harga dan pasokan produk pangan dan komoditas pertanian. Model bisnis yang diterapkan ETANEE adalah sharing ekonomi yang melibatkan masyarakat sebagai pemilik atau pelaku rantai pasok dan rantai distribusi produk pangan dan pertanian. Stokis adalah pengelola logistik atau stok produk beku, produk segar, dan produk pangan kering yang dikelola ETANEE langsung dari produsen atau pemasok. Berkapasitas minimal 2 ton yang diatur penyebarannya, sehingga optimal untuk melayani cakupan area tertentu. Pengaturan keluar masuk stok dikelola dan dikendalikan oleh Stock Management System, sehingga mengikuti kaidah FIFO atau First In, First Out. Stokis hanya melayani order dari agen atau pedagang eceran atau konsumen akhir dalam jumlah besar atau grosiran. Masyarakat pemilik stokis mendapatkan sharing profit dengan presentasi tertentu dari setiap transaksi. Stokis tidak melakukan proses penjualan, sehingga aktivitas stokis menjadi sumber pendapatan pasif bagi pemilik. Agen dan kios marketplace adalah rantai akhir yang melayani pembelian dari konsumen dengan jumlah eceran secara online melalui aplikasi. Agen tidak perlu khawatir dengan persaingan tidak sehat, karena untuk seluruh produk yang dikelola ETANEE melalui stokis telah ditentukan harga terendah dan harga tertinggi secara sistem. Dalam kondisi tertentu, sistem juga dapat mengatur jumlah kuantitas penjualan setiap transaksi agar terjadi keseimbangan distribusi. Agen dan kios marketplace dapat melayani konsumen sampai dengan radius 10 km. Hal ini dimaksudkan meminimalkan ongkos kirim serta kecepatan waktu pengiriman. Proses distribusi produk yang dipesan dari kios dapat diantar melalui kurir ETANEE atau dapat diambil langsung oleh konsumen ke lokasi agen atau kios marketplace. ETANEE Delivery adalah kurir khusus yang direkrut dan dikelola ETANEE serta dilengkapi peralatan rantai dingin khusus untuk menjaga kualitas produk sampai di tangan konsumen. Aplikasi ETANEE Delivery mampu menentukan jenis kendaraan yang sesuai dengan jenis produk dan jumlah yang diantar, memberikan data lengkap pemesan, serta secara pintar dapat memberikan status pengantaran secara real-time kepada konsumen. Kurir ETANEE mendapatkan penghasilan berupa ongkos kirim dengan hitungan berdasarkan jarak tempuh dan berat produk yang diantarkan. Konsumen yang melakukan pembelian pada aplikasi akan diarahkan secara sistem ke lokasi stokis terdekat sesuai dengan jumlah stok yang tersedia. Barang dapat diantar atau diambil langsung ke lokasi, dengan sistem pembayaran dapat dilakukan melalui transfer antar rekening, bayar di tempat, atau melalui e-wallet yang dapat diisi atau top up di gerai-gerai yang mudah dijangkau masyarakat, sehingga memudahkan konsumen dalam bertransaksi. Model bisnis ETANEE yang melibatkan masyarakat sebagai pemilik atau pelaku rantai pasok dan rantai distribusi produk pangan dan pertanian memungkinkan efek ekonomi yang masif, terbukanya lapangan kerja baru, serta mempercepat pertumbuhan ekonomi di seluruh rantai nilai sektor pangan dan pertanian. ETANEE Food Marketplace, solusi pangan untuk Indonesia.
Thank you for staying with us, or are you still there? Please wave your hand on the camera. I want to see all the excitement on the event. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, after having 2 sessions from 5 startup members from Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia, we will have 2 special guests in the keynote session. For the first guest, please welcome Mr. Chandra Firmanto, Managing Partner of Indogen Capital.
Hi, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Chandra Firmanto. I'm the Managing Partner of Indogen Capital. I would like to say thank you to Shinhan Future Lab for the opportunity today to share to all of you the bright young minds of Indonesia. And for today, the topic is going to be the few direction and promising startups in post-COVID-19 era. I would like to start by introducing more about myself. So I went to school at USC in Southern California, worked there for 2 years, and then afterwards I came back in 2004, and then being involved with the family business until today. So my family business is we are distributors for many products, the fast-moving consumer goods, motorcycles as well, Yamaha, right? And then we also have a multi-finance company, also shareholders at Busan Auto Finance with Mitsui. We also have a JV for property with Ciputra Group, JV with Compass Gramedia for Amaris Hotel Development. In total, we have about 3,500 employees and about 150 branches across Indonesia. I moved myself to become the chairman in 2015, and end of 2016, I started Indogen Capital. And I would like to start by stating that the Southeast Asia TC powder actually at an all-time high. So the timing couldn't be better, actually at this moment, to start a startup. So if you look at as of March 2020, the dry powder in Southeast Asia is at a record high of 3.9 billion. Okay, and then if we look down at the breakdown of the US 3.9 billions, almost 62% actually are funds that just recently raised in 2019 and 2020, meaning that the capital is ready to be deployed at any point in time. And liquidity, I think, is not going to be a problem anytime soon in Southeast Asia, because there is I think, a strong belief and trust from foreign investors to our region. And in our opinion, the funding to startups will continue, obviously, but of course, investors will be much more selective, right? They have to be more careful. And then also they need to explain to their LPs or investors what is the mitigation risks facing with the pandemic situations, right? So they will look more into the pandemic-proof sectors of investment. And what should be considered as pandemic proof, right? So if you look at the way that actually the situations change, actually something with less physical interactions to access products, it's better at this moment, right? Because obviously everyone is avoiding physical interactions, right? So something towards more into B2C and less physical interactions is the one that more attractive for investors for this year, probably until next year as well. Doesn't mean that if you are in the travel and hospitality industry that you are not going to actually to be able to do any rebound, because I really believe so. But the time should be in 2022 or 2023 for the travel and hospitality. But at this moment, you can see that the industries that are actually concentrating more into B2C and less physical interactions actually do better, right? So like health tech, food delivery, esports, and edutech. And how about the B2B? The B2B is a bit challenging at this moment. Why? Because obviously the corporations, they try to be more careful with spending. And because of that, then they try to cut down on costs and don't want to take any risks actually. So, but of course, they also understand that in the future, they need to be able to adapt with the change in technology, right? But they'll be more careful and more selective. So that's the reality. But again, I really believe that once we can really get a hold on these pandemic situations, so say 2021 is going to be a vaccine year, right? And then 2022 probably is going to be the time to start actually with the recovery process. Then the B2B place will come back again as well, okay? And at this moment, right? So going back to the less physical interactions and more towards B2C, like I mentioned before. So we look at 4 big sectors where the technology will play the more important role to shape the next wave of internet users, right? So the first industry is going to be enterprise. The SMEs are getting technology driven, and then the B2B marketplace as well, the B2B SaaS as well, right? So what are the reasons? Number one, 70% of the fast-moving consumer goods distribution in Indonesia are held by legacy players. I know really well because my family business actually doing distributions for fast-moving consumer goods such as Unilever, Walls Ice Cream, and many other things. Okay, so with little to no improvement in the business models, the B2B technology enables startup capitalize on these opportunities. Okay, and number two, 98% of total number of business in Indonesia are small medium enterprises, including the mom and pop stock shops. Right, so this gives the addressable market is above $10 billion US. So very attractive market to tackle. Number two, we believe that education and entertainment is going to do really well. Why? Because people are consuming more content online, edutech and esports, right? So you can see that esports audience has been growing rapidly from 2017 to 2019, reaching to 500 million people, and about 25% are in the Southeast Asia region. Why? Why is that? It's because the demography of Southeast Asia. About 55% of the population in Southeast Asia are generation millennial and generation Z. So this creating a bonus demography for our region to be the attractive market for right now and towards the next 10 years. Okay, I will talk about that later. And number two, the media economy in Indonesia are expected to grow as well, 9% from 2018 to 2025. They're reaching the total market value again over $10 billion US. And number three, the consumer spending on education is also expected to grow by about 6%, so reaching 40 billions by 2030. So we really believe that these are going to be a very attractive markets for many investors to come. The third industries, we really think that going to do really well, going to be the fintech and the insurtech. Why? Because there's an improvement in the financial inclusiveness, right? The payment, financial infrastructure. So we believe that mobile payment transactions are expected to grow by 80% to hit 60 billions by 2022. And then early case burning payment startups has paved ways actually for newcomers to skip the market education phase, right? Because they already understand about the market situations and actually focus more on the engagement side. And number 4 is going to be the vertically focused commerce. People are actually buying more things online, right? Like from agri-tech, fisheries, right? So we really think that specific e-commerce are going to capitalize the saturated horizontal marketplace by providing tailored use experience. And this is just one of the examples. Ruang Guru, we believe is going to be one of the next unicorns. One of the next is the keyword, okay? So because there will be several. And I just use them as examples, not our portfolio company. So there's no bias here. And we believe that if you are looking for the next unicorns, then there will be 3 major traits, right? Number 1 is a mobile first. Like Ruang Guru, they're going to capitalize on the lowering cost of smartphone, right? And increasing speed on internet bandwidth in 2nd and 3rd tier cities. So if you look at the expansions, actually a bit slow in the 2nd and 3rd tier cities, but not going to be a problem anymore in the near future, right? Because of the increasing internet speed. And then number 2 is the local network effect. The virtuous cycle, the more qualified teacher they have, the more users will actually want to try, want to learn something more, and they have more time during these COVID situations, right? And then number 3 is an offline to online model. So integration will take place in the future. People actually will get accustomed to do everything online, right? Rather than offline. It's more convenient and it's also more practical as well. And how about the appetite of investors, right? So if we look at the appetite of investors, then I would like to see the appetite of the countries with money, right? So the one with money, obviously, going to be US, right? North America, East Asia, right? And if you look at their situations right now, actually there are many things that they are positive for startup ecosystems, especially for Southeast Asia. First, the velocity of the market recovery is spurred by fiscal policy and monetary policy, very aggressive from all countries. From the fiscal standpoint, the government stimulus package has proven to be the fuel for the stock market rally. As you can see recently in US, stock market has been very hot, right? And then the form of the monetary standpoint as well, the government decision to also reduce interest rate is going to make people actually to find other place actually to keep their money, right? And obviously expanding current businesses is not options, right? Because many of the industry actually impacted, the traditional sectors especially, impacted by the COVID situations. So because of that, then they have to place their money somewhere else. And betting on the future is going to be more attractive for them, right? So betting on the startups, on the future growth is going to be very good, right, for them. In terms of, they can see that it's going to shape that way, right? And you can see that also in the numbers. So if you look at the S&P 500, the gains will be half without the big tech stocks, right? So obviously the contribution of the tech stocks have become the big beneficiaries from the pandemic, standing the test of the difficult time. Because people understand that during COVID, and obviously the companies need to innovate, need to expand. So traditional players will be actually challenged by all these newcomers with tech capabilities. So people are actually willing to bet for the future. And you can see even the company that actually heavily affected by COVID, like Airbnb, soars to near 100 billion valuations as shares more than double during IPO, okay? Even though they are heavily impacted. And then DoorDash as well, IPO, shares soars by 80% at start of trading. And these are just 2 examples. There are many more. And then there are many more tech companies that are lining up. And then many more buyers actually willing to pour in money to purchase. So given the situations, I really believe that many late stage startups will fasten their IPO process and plan. And this one will benefit Southeast Asia. Why? Because once these tech giants actually flush with money, with liquidity, they will look to continue the story and then to expand to the new market. And for East Asia investors, and also for North American investors, Southeast Asia is going to be a very attractive market for them. Why? Number one, political situations of Southeast Asia countries are quite stable. Number two, they also have good political relationship with both the East Asia investors and of North American investors. While the North American investors actually will not be able to go to China, and the China will be having difficulty also to go to US. If you look at the recent examples, right? And then also China have difficult relationship with India right now because of the border situations. And because of that, then they'll be actually more interested to expand to Southeast Asia, especially Indonesia, because we have 40% of the Southeast Asia populations. And the next reason is because of the bonus in the demography, like I mentioned before, because 55% of the Southeast Asia populations actually Generation Millennial and Generation Z. So it's going to be very attractive market to come in. And then lastly, the growth in economics as well. We have been very stable. Our region has been very stable in the growth. So I really believe that it's going to be the market that very attractive for foreign investors. And how about their appetite for Southeast Asia market? If you look at it, there is a company from Southeast Asia already listed at New York Stock Exchange under the name, under the code SE, right? So SIA Limited is the parents company of Shopee and Garena, okay? So obviously all of you know Shopee. And they only do business in Southeast Asia, right? Obviously. But if you look at the price, the historical price last year, they're actually one of the best performing stocks in 2020, meaning that the foreign investors, the North American investors, are actually very bullish with whatever happening in Southeast Asia. And if there are other companies going to be listed in the New York Stock Exchange, for example, or in US, and I believe that they also have the similar appetite from their investors as well. So tech is obviously a bright spot for investment in Southeast Asia, and we project that the Southeast Asia effect will trickle down to the earlier players that eventually give birth to the new generations of the tech unicorn companies in this region. And Southeast Asia is at the tipping point for creating many more billion-dollar companies and assets. And for example, in Indonesia, recently in the last 3 days, actually, the stock market situation is not very good, right? But you can see that the performance of Bank Jago under the code name Arto, they are still very stable. Why? Because there is a belief that Bank Jago is going to be one of the vehicles actually for the fintech play of Gojek, right? So there is a big trust with Gojek, big trust with the tech industry in the near future. So that's why even though the other traditional banks actually have the stocks actually not performing really well in the last 3 days, but Bank Jago is actually not affected at all. This is also another examples that the tech investments are actually going to be better than traditional play in the near future. And another key point is the arrival of SPAC in Southeast Asian market. So recently, you probably have heard about the Indonesian unicorn Traveloka, most SPAC merger to go public following Tokopedia as well. So you might be wondering what is SPAC, right? So I'll explain a bit, I think like in very short about SPAC, but please pay attention to SPAC because it's going to be something that very interesting and very promising for the Southeast Asia, I think, tech development. So this is a illustration about a SPAC and how does SPAC work. So basically, SPAC is a shell company, an empty company. Okay, so they are going to go for listing in, let's say, in US, for example, backed by prominent investors and also prominent big names. And from there, then we look for target company. So they will create a story. For example, they want to control the e-commerce market in Indonesia, for example. Then they are going to acquire, say, an e-commerce player, the fintech player, the insurtech player as well, to complete the ecosystems, the 3PL shipping company, and probably also the last mile shipping, right? So there's just a simple examples. And from there, and then it will create a very strong operating company, and the operating company eventually will be able to get good revenue and can obviously maintain the share price, right? Because there is an excitement keep coming back. For example, once they have acquired an e-commerce player, then eventually they acquire a strong fintech players. The next one is they continue by acquiring, say, a 3PL, a strong or big 3PL players from the region. So that is just one of the examples. So obviously by having SPAC, there'll be more and more startups going to enjoy good exits, right? So good exits meaning that probably not 1 billion, but probably going to be acquired really fast, but for 50, 100, or maybe more valuations. So obviously that the future of the startup landscape is very bright. So I really think that all of you are actually at the right spot. So congratulations to all of you. I wish you all the best in your startup journey. And if you would like to find out more about Indogen Capital, and we also share about more things at our Instagram and YouTube channel as well, please follow Indogen Capital at YouTube and Instagram, and you can follow me on Instagram as well under Chandra Firmanto. So I wish all of you the best of luck in your startup journey, and stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Wow, a very insightful remarks from Mr. Chandra Firmanto. And ladies and gentlemen, it is clear that COVID-19 pandemic is not only affecting people's life in general, but also startup in particular. And to think that despite the pandemic, there still be a lot of opportunities for the startup to expand their businesses. Thank you. And before moving to the next keynote session, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because we still have 2 sessions left, which is health tech and fintech sector. So now, are you ready for the next keynote session? Raise your hand if you are already waiting for this keynote session. Thank you. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Rachmat Kaimuddin, CEO of Bukalapak.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rachmat Kaimuddin. I'm the CEO of Bukalapak. Bukalapak is an e-commerce company that has been operating for more than a decade in Indonesia. Our focus has been in working to solve a problem in small and medium enterprises. In this events, I was asked to tell a story about the journey of Bukalapak to become a sustainable company. And allow me to share a little bit about our experience the past few years. What has been our focus in Bukalapak? There's a few folds here. First of all, we believe on having a very strong purpose or mission. We also believe that in order to be a sustainable company, we have to take care of our talent. And of course, while having a mission and talent, it has to be, we have to deliver result, and we have to show growth in our performance. And of course, we have to get trust from our stakeholders. In Bukalapak, we basically focus on a few problems, i.e., how can people transact or do trades in a way that is fair and inclusive for everyone. And of course, to do commerce, there are a few problems that we've seen. The first one is the problem of capital. It seems like in Indonesia, especially, like, people who has more capital has bigger benefits compared to the people who actually have less capital. The people who have access to capital probably will be able to open more shops, open better shops compared to the one that doesn't have a capital. So therefore, they have bigger access to market. We also see the problem in infrastructure or geographical location. People who actually are located in outside of commercial center will have smaller access to market, and also for buyers, they actually also have smaller limited. They have actually limited variety on the goods that they can buy. And the other problems that we've seen is financial inclusion. A lot of people still is not served by financial institutions, and they don't have digital currency, and therefore they are unable to transact digitally. They have to transact physically. As a result, a lot of people are still having problems in doing transactions or commerce through all these barriers. In Bukalapak, our mission is to eliminate all those barriers. We want to create a fair economy for all. We want to create a system to buy and sell goods and services that is inclusive for everyone. And how do we do that? Today, basically, we develop a couple of technologies. We have actually a platform that will enable people to do exactly that. So the first technology platform that we create is an online marketplace. So through our online marketplace, all buyers and sellers will have similar access. So the buyers will basically get the same access. All the traffic of Bukalapak will be accessible for all the merchants on our online marketplace, regardless whether they actually big merchants or small merchants. Also, the potential buyers will have the same access to the goods and services that is sold in our platform. So it doesn't matter whether they live in Jakarta or they live outside, in other islands. Like, everyone will be able to get the same variety of goods and services as each other. The other thing that we have developed over the years is that we create another application. We call it Bukalapak. So this application is intended to serve the offline merchants, the mom and pop kiosk or warung. So this application will enable the mom and pop kiosk to order goods and services through our application, and we'll be able to deliver it to them. So if they run out of merchandise, they don't need to close their shops and they have to go out to the market and buy and come back. They can actually just order it through the comfort of their shop, and we'll deliver the goods. This Mitra Bukalapak will also enable the mom and pop kiosks, the warungs in Indonesia, to sell digital products. So we have developed these capabilities to work with all the digital products providers, like electricity payments or phone credits, travel, even buying investment products like mutual funds or gold. And we have basically developed the technology to transact that in our online marketplace. And actually, we move that capability into our seller application. And now all these mom and pop kiosks will be able to become our agent to transact in these digital products. And of course, as a result, like, everyone that is actually located nearby this mom and pop kiosk will be able to get access to the same products as well, even though they are not currently an online marketplace customer. So you don't need to be an online marketplace customer to be connected to e-commerce. So everyone, even you don't have digital currency, even you don't have a smartphone, we can still be connected to e-commerce directly or indirectly through the warung or our partners here. The other things that we are focusing on is basically our people or our talent. You know, people have been saying like, okay, business is all about money, but it's actually also a lot about people. And one of the things that we are focusing on is what we call providing our talent with what we call circle of safety. So you know, everyone should be able to feel safe to work, both physically as well as mentally. And this past year, like we talk about safety, it's been probably a little bit theoretical before, but now that the COVID pandemic is happening, of course, the threat of physical danger is actually quite real. So what we try to develop in Bukalapak is we need to ensure, of course, that our operation can continue because a lot of people need our service today, but we also need to ensure that the way we do our business, our operation will be able to is secure for our staff. So one of the ways that we do it here is that we implement work from home, and we have been doing that for almost a year now. And but to provide an option for the people who actually need a physical location to work for whatever reason, internet, or they just have to be there, we actually open our office as well. And this office, we put pretty strict health protocol as well. So, you know, if wherever people want to work, we try to make sure that they can work safely. And of course, on top of that, we try to ensure that people can still be connected. Psychologically is quite important. So, you know, we do a lot of communication events as well virtually with our staff to ensure that people can still feel as a part of the family. And I mean, this effort, we are quite proud to say that it's been recognized by the external parties as well. So Bukalapak has been has gotten the certificate of best company to work for 2 years in a row now, and we actually also get a certificate of most caring company to work for. And in Indonesia, in 2020, it's only 6 companies that get both best company to work for and most caring company, and we are actually the only tech company to achieve that. And this is, of course, something that we achieve together with the staff. It's also important, besides having good mission and also taking care of our people, to show progress. And it's, of course, this is why, people invest in us, and this is also a way to measure that whether we are going to the right track. I mean, in technology, I think it's like people are focusing on a lot of growth, and of course we are no different. But we also put a lot of attention to what we call a path to profitability. So the past couple of years, we worked quite hard to ensure that we can get high top line numbers, but we also need to improve our profitability in this case EBITDA. So the past 2 years, from 2018 to 2020, our value of transactions, or total process values, has tripled, and our EBITDA is actually improved 80% over the same period. And this growth, of course, it's something that we need to check whether we are still true to our mission. And what we see in here is that 70% of our transaction is actually come from outside of the 5 big cities in Indonesia. So this is kind of aligned with what we believe that Bukalapak, we want to serve small and medium enterprises. We want to ensure that everyone get fair access to commerce, and we want to serve the underserved. And looks like we are getting there, that most of our transactions come from outside of the big commercial centers. And our platform is also being used by millions of small and medium enterprises for them to basically try to make a living. And one of the numbers that we are happy to see is that in 2020, during COVID era, whereby a lot of people need online platform to make a living, we actually gain about 4 million small and medium enterprises that sign up and transact in our platform. Now, with all this growth and all this mission, of course, we are not working in a vacuum. So we realized that the platform that we built thus far has a lot of impact to a lot of people. And especially again, during this pandemic era, we have to work together with other stakeholders. Basically, gotong royong, or collaborate to ensure that we can go through this crisis together. So one of the things that we are focusing on last year and will continue this year is working with the government. We need to ensure that what we have built in the platform can be beneficial to the society as well. And there are a couple of big projects that we work with government last year. One of them is to support stimuli as well as training for millions of people through Kartu Prakerja. So this is a government project to give money for the people to take some training online now because of pandemic, and also get some stimulus. So Bukalapak is one of the digital platform partner, and last year we actually together support about more than 1 million, like 1.5 million people in this platform. We also work with the government institution as well as other e-commerce companies and brands to create a national campaign, which is Bangga Buatan Indonesia, or proud for Indonesian products. So the idea is, now that during pandemic, global supply chain is probably being disrupted, and I think it's a good time for Indonesian producers, Indonesian brands can become the host in their own country. So and of course, we have these producers. We have a platform to support the transactions, and we just need to market this together to the buyers or to everyone of us. So I think this Bangga Buatan Indonesia campaign, it's been launched with my president, and I think like everyone is actually participate now, and we have been very active member on this national movement. And of course, getting trust from the stakeholders through collaboration is important, but as a company, we also need support from partners and stakeholders. Last year, and then the past few years, we have been getting trust from a lot of very big institutions. Shinhan Financial Group, I think into 2019, invested in Bukalapak. And in 2020 and 2021, we actually basically get additional support from multiple global institutions like Microsoft, ASMO, Standard Chartered, and as well as some other previous shareholders that has been supporting us from the beginning. Now, of course, this trust is something that we don't take lightly. We believe that like everyone who support us believe in our mission, believe in our story, but also happy with the progress that we have achieved so far through the growth and through taking care of the people, and as well as through our collaboration as well. So I think basically those are the story that I want to say. Mainly, in order for us to get sustainable business, first have a mission, our purpose that is very strong. We need to take care of the people. We have to continuously show good growth and good progress. And the last one is getting trust for the stakeholders, both investors as well as the others like the government and other institutions. That's probably a little bit of my story. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we heard together another important notes pointed out by Mr. Rachmat Kaimuddin is related on how startups should focus on their business. Also, trust from stakeholders is needed in order to achieve the main goal. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, well, now it's time for me to introduce the second lane in this Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1 2021. And please put your hand together for health tech sector, the one and only ZI.CARE.
안녕하세요. ZI.CARE 대표 KODI입니다. ZI.CARE's ventures is to digitizing Indonesian healthcare. We are providing electronic medical records for the healthcare facilities such as hospital, clinics, also to empower the caregivers such as doctors, nurses, and providing the personal health record for the patients to have integrated, seamless healthcare services across the region. My background experience was in financial industries. I spent more than 15 years in banking, capital markets. So as an investment banker, I always seek opportunities. So when I met my high school friend, Pak JC, who has all the experience and the expertise in the healthcare, with this opportunity to establishing ZI.CARE, I see that this company can give both the improvements within the healthcare sectors and also provide the equal access of healthcare services, but also to provide the social impact for the people to have a better healthcare services in future. Okay, ZI.CARE, we have been implemented in more than 79 healthcare facilities, including clinics and also hospitals. We also supported our government to fight this COVID together. Well, our EMR module has been utilized to monitor all the COVID symptoms within the COVID patients across the nation. On the other end, we have also been utilized by more than 1,000 doctors. We have also constructed more than 155,000 medical patients data in a more appropriate structured way. Revenue-wise, we have booked the contract about $800,000 so far. So I think we are very excited ahead of this 2021. Currently, we are aiming to collaborate with telemedicine companies such as Halodoc, Doctor, and other names in Indonesia. Why? Because we try to empower them with what we have as a strength point to complement what they are lacking of, which is the electronic medical record. We are also trying to empower them to provide their doctors having all these updates of the inter-exchangeable data of the patients, to create the seamless journey once the patients would like to enter the hospital after the preliminary consultations. So that will be the game changer within the industry going forward, hopefully. This year, 2021, we are running our Series A campaign, aiming about $1.5 million at pre-money valuations of $5 million. Historically, we have closed 2 times of fundraising series. The first one, 2018, we closed our seed about 600,000. And then 2020, we closed our pre-series about 300,000. Then now we have seen all the opportunities going forward need to be capitalized. So that's why we will utilize the money to expand and to penetrate the market in the more aggressive way. ZI.CARE Futures goal will be the integrations of the healthcare stakeholders, the health data gateway, the borderless treatment, the patient-centric care. So these integration between healthcare facilities, doctors, or even the patient itself, including the medical device such as IoT, that will be our end game, including the penetrations and the aggregations within the insurance company. Shinhan Future Labs is very exciting. The program has been contributing us with a lot of value additions. We learned a lot from the mentors. We met the investors from their networks. We also learned about how to scale up with the products, how to manage a better company. So I think it's very exciting and it's a rare opportunities for us. So we are very grateful to be part of the Shinhan Future Lab. ZI.CARE. As we know, A is for beginner and Z is the most complete one. Hopefully, ZI.CARE will be the most complete solutions for the healthcare industry going forward in the future. Okay. Once again, we would like to appreciate the Shinhan Futures Lab team. It has been very much a value additions for this ZI.CARE journeys ahead. So let's grow together. Kamsahamnida.
Wow, what a terrific explanation about healthcare technology. And I do agree that Indonesian healthcare system needs to be standardized, especially realizing that today people cannot be separated from technology. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for Q&A session. We got several questions for ZI.CARE. So ZI.CARE, please be ready. The first question will be coming from Vertex Venture. So Vertex Venture, time is yours.
Hi, I'm just wondering, what has been your go-to market strategy and how has your sales cycle been?
Okay, can I answer the question now? Really?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, sure. Thanks for the opportunity and the questions. Our market strategy is to empower the healthcare facilities and provide the convenience to the decision to the stakeholders. We are bringing the global standards on digital healthcare technology into a traditional paper-based Indonesian healthcare market. The key strategies for us are the partnerships. For our B2B hospitals and clinic acquisitions, our partnership with the banks has given us an abundant hospital leads to be acquired. Whereas for our B2B2C through cloud-based ZI.CARE-like product, the market penetration will be heavy within our partnership with the telemedicine players, digital clinic providers, doctors associations, and pharmacy chains. Thus, we are aiming a faster and more scalable traction from the consumer market this year. At the same time, this will also give us an extra push factor on the B2B hospitals acquisition as well. So that's our market strategy.
Okay, thank you, ZI.CARE. Is that enough, Vertex Venture, or something you want to add?
No, that's sufficient. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And ZI.CARE, another question will be coming from Funnel. So please, Funnel, time is yours. Okay, I'm sorry. Seems like there's a technical problem. We cannot reach Funnel right now. And all of the VC that attending this event this afternoon is also welcome to share a question to ZI.CARE. Just raise your hand through Zoom platform and we can help you deliver the question to ZI.CARE. Is there any VC that want to add a question for ZI.CARE? There's a lot of venture capital joining us this morning until this afternoon. There are Adventures, Colorful Next, Cyber Agent Capital Indonesia, Global Founders Capital, Good Neighbors Global Impact Foundation, K Vision, Monks Hill Ventures, Kiming Venture Partner, Quest Ventures, and SG Innovate. If there's someone or some ventures who want to raise a question, just raise your hand through Zoom platform. Okay, if there's no more questions for ZI.CARE, of course, all the VCs, you can directly give the questions to ZI.CARE or other startups on Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia. And you can also have us to deliver the question or arrange the meeting with the startups. And now another startups coming in the next session right after the break. So please stay with us and let's watch together this commercial break. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for us to meet the fourth lane, which is the last line in this Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1 2021. Please put your hand together for Fintech sector.
안녕하세요. MODAL RAKYAT 대표 스타니스입니다. MODAL RAKYAT or MORA is a peer-to-peer lending platform whereby we connect lenders and borrowers online throughout all Indonesia. So lenders in this case can be everyone, individuals like us, or even a financial institution that wants to work with us as a lender. As for the borrower side, we help mostly SMEs and startups for them to start or grow their businesses. Our loans varies from invoice financing, settlement financing, B2B pay later, or even working capital. So MODAL RAKYAT or MORA is actually my second startup. But during my first startup back then, it's just very hard for me to obtain capital or loans. And I just realized that I wasn't alone. In fact, in Indonesia, 70% of people are actually unbanked, and they're pretty much have an experience like me, where it's very hard to get capital. So MODAL RAKYAT was born for them to get alternative financing to start or grow their businesses. So MORA has been established for around 3 years, and now I'm proudly say that we have dispersed loans amounting around 65 billion of won across 4,000 SMEs and startups in Indonesia. And we also work with a lot of institutions like big banks and multi-finance and also BPRs. So MORA as a peer-to-peer lending platform, we work for both sides, right? There is a lenders and borrowers. From the lender side, we're happy to work with banking or any kind of financial institution that wants to be our lenders. As from the borrower side, we always work with the ecosystem startups like e-commerce enablers or let's say logistics. So amid the pandemic situation, MORA has been able to prove that we have a strong track performance in terms of our loan performance. We have experience in working with the big institutions like banks or multi-finance. And also we know the knowledge and the segment that we're actually targeting to, which is the technology and the startup ecosystem in Indonesia. So we will stay true to our vision. We want to provide impact in terms of how Indonesia can grow their economy by us providing financing through startups and also SMEs. So in this SFL program, I was able to connect with the best founders and also the best mentors that actually the knowledge was really helpful for me to grow MORA or MODAL RAKYAT. Can I negotiate two words? Supposed to be financial inclusion. So I'm happy to have more partners establishing MORA to provide even more financial inclusion throughout Indonesia. Kamsahamnida.
안녕하세요. KOALA 대표 Tommy-입니다. KOALA is an insurance technology company that focuses on humanized insurance and make insurance become affordable and available for all. Our business model is about creating an access of insurance product through our direct channel and also through our partnership with businesses, ranging for digital platform, financial services, or even offline retail store. And in the process, we are trying to leverage technology to simplify the insurance experience end-to-end, from the purchase, from the underwriting, to the claim experience. Our goal is basically you want to make insurance become something that is fit the customer lifestyle, and so that they can actually enjoy insurance to the fullest. So I started as software engineer working for Symbian, Nokia, and Accenture back in London. And when I moved back to Jakarta around 8 years ago, I started switching my focus more towards the business side. So I work as a management consultant for EY. Then I run the marketing and analytics for Traveloka, Malaysia, and Singapore. And also, I also joined Sinamas Group to help them to initiate their fintech initiative. So the first time I heard about this insurtech idea from my co-founder, Harshad, who himself has run insurtech company for many years, I see this not just an opportunity to digitalize an industry with a very big opportunity, but at the same time, I also see this as an opportunity to help to change the people's life through insurance, to empower them so that they can have a better life as well. We are a Series A company backed by Sequoia India, Kunming Bank Investment, and Mirai Asset, and many other leading investors in the global and local. So in terms of our performance so far, we already enable more than 2 million insurance policy per month through our direct channel and also through our partnership with some of the leading digital platforms in the region, like Traveloka, Oyo, Tokopedia, JD, and many others. And we also work together with more than 30 leading insurance companies in the region as well to help us to digitalize the insurance processes and also co-create the next generation of insurance products. At QOALA, we see an insurance as a strategic enabler to your business. Whether it's about generating more revenue or whether it's about like protecting your business and your customer from the risk. And while we are currently focusing more on the digital sector, working with the online travel agent, e-commerce, and the fintech, and I think on the traditional industry such as financial services and the offline retail store, we are very much open with the challenges to work together in the new industry as well. I think one thing that differentiates us compared to our competitors in the market is we focus more on the end-to-end solution. Because I think for us, InsurTech is not just about providing a digital experience in buying insurance. It's actually all about also the after-sales services as well, in terms of the underwriting, in terms of like the policy issuance, and also the claim. Because in the end of the day, claim is a very important element of the insurance adoption, because that's the moment where the customer actually going to enjoy the insurance benefit. And that's why you put a lot of emphasis on like building the technology to enable a more digital and instant type of claim process. Our goal is to humanize insurance and is to make insurance to become more accessible and more available for the customer. And we really want to make insurance can become the part of the customer lifestyle as well, where they are looking for insurance and they are enjoying insurance to protect themselves against the risk of their life, regardless what they are doing. With QOALA, we are basically hoping that we can empower them to live fuller and let us take care of your worry. Yeah, it has been great pleasure and experience to be part of the Shinhan Future Lab program, especially through all the mentoring sessions by the key experts in the region, and also the access to the leading venture capital in the region. We totally understand that this year has been a very tough year for many businesses, but I think at the same time we are totally impressed on how the team managed to pull together all the effort to make the program to be a successful one, despite the social distancing that are imposed by the government. That will be innovation, because I think startup is not just about technology or digital. Those are just enabler, but innovation is the main keyword that actually define the startup in terms of like making a changes towards a certain industry. On behalf of QOALA, we are grateful to be part of the Shinhan Future Lab program, and we hope that you will continue to empower many other startups to continue innovate and create a better world. Kamsahamnida.
Kamsahamnida. What an exciting presentation. Well, it's always interesting when we talk about money, right? Anyway, I saw MODAL RAKYAT or MORA as peer-to-peer lending platform is really a big help, especially in providing working capital towards small, medium enterprises. While on the other hand, QOALA has a main purpose to generating insurance technology and humanizing insurance, making it available and affordable for all. Both startups clearly focus on how people, especially within their limitation, to get an access and focus on the keywords affordable and availability. So ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the Q&A session. And first we got MODAL RAKYAT questions from several venture capital. So Pak Stanis, please be ready. The first question will be coming from Shinhan Capital.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I just got one question. So, could you explain the similarity and core differences of business strategy from other competitors?
Yeah, sure. So I think most P2P lending here in Indonesia directly disperse the loans to the borrower. So it's more like a B2B business. As for Modal Rakyat, now we are focusing more on the B2B2C model. So we partner with lots of startup ecosystem, and basically we not only provide the loans to the startup that we work with, but also the clients of the startup that we work with. So it's more like the extension of B2B. We do also B2B2C. And we can say that we are API friendly. So any single partner that wants to connect to us, we're very open.
Okay, thank you, Pak Stanis. Is there any more to add? Shinhan Capital? Right, if there's no more to add, Pak Stanis from Modal Rakyat, we also gather some questions from Vertex Venture. May I read the questions? How are you different from other P2P startups? Please, Pak Stanis.
Yeah, I think it's still similar with the first question on how we differentiate ourselves. So now we are still focusing on the P2P2C model. So it's like we provide a pay later kind of scheme, but maybe the current B2B to C pay later player here in Indonesia focus more on the consumptive loans. Like let's say OVO, they have pay later, Traveloka, they also have pay later. So all the purposes is more on consumptives. While for us, we help providing pay later for the clients that focuses more on productive loans. Let's say an example, Modal Rakyat works with a logistic marketplace startup where this startup connects big players like Unilever or Danone with also the trucking companies. So we work with them with this logistic startup, and we provide a pay later for those trucking ecosystem actually. So in that sense, the trucking are able to get the loan in advance for them to start, let's say, maintaining the trucking, or they are able to hire their drivers, or they're able to kickstart the engine and stuffs. So basically, those are the area that we're looking into.
What a nice technology Modal Rakyat has. And the next question is coming from Fanel, still for Modal Rakyat. What's your company competitive edge, Pak Stanis?
So I think those three questions are all the same, yeah, similar. I guess we still stick true to our vision. Now we're focusing on the B2B2C model. So we have an advantage of while working with partners. Partners are able to also have additional feature by having pay later. It increases their transaction, and from our perspective, we pretty much don't have any acquisition cost, because all the leads are coming from our partners. In that sense, we have a very lean model, and we are already profitable actually. So we are not in the rush on having a growth strategy that probably pushes our loan disbursement. We're profitable, so we're not in that pressure. That's why we're able to preserve and maintain a high loan performance even amid in the COVID situation. Thank you.
That is from questions for KOALA. Ready? The first question will be coming from Shinhan Capital.
I'd like to know about the monetization model. So could you explain this with a specific case?
All right. Thank you for the questions. I think in terms of the our monetizing model is very much depending on our business model. But typically, what happens is we are providing a services to enable the insurance company to distribute the products, right, and also to support them from the after sales services, for example, policy issuance and the claim services. And I think with that, normally what happens is, so normally what happens is, like, for every transaction that happens, we're going to get a certain percentage of the sales as part of our revenue. Hello? Hello?
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, Tommy. Thank you so much. And the next question is come from SV Investment. So please, SV Investment, the time is yours.
Hello. Thank you, Pak Tommy, for the presentation. I think I have several questions. The first one would be like, I do see there's a lot of a low insurance penetration here in Indonesia. And some of the one who can afford the insurance already paid by the employers from their workplace. So my first question will be, how do you acquire customers and convince them to buy insurance? And the second one would be, where are this incumbent insurance agent play on your business? Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think on the first questions, I think on the so on the first question, I think insurance adoption is low as what you have highlighted. And to be honest, in general, if you look at like those Indonesians that actually no insurance, most of them is because of like the employee insurance, or it's because of like, for example, they are taking a financing, and as part of the financing process, they need to take some of the motor vehicle insurance and so on, right? So I think you're totally right on the aspect. So I think like the way we look into these problems is we don't believe in like selling insurance as a primary product, because it's going to be a very hard selling. It's going to be very tough. And therefore, we want to educate the customer through selling the product as a secondary product, meaning that we want to be able to associate insurance product to the activities that the customer like to do. And as you know, I think like many customers this day like to do online shopping, like to do a traveling, like to go to the fintech platform as well, whether it's the e-money, P2P lending, and so on, and even this day in particular, I think the investment platform, right? So we want to make sure we can tie in a certain insurance product to each of these activities. It's just a very simple product, something that's a bit different than what we have a few years back. And the hope of that is like they're going to like able to buy the product because it's more affordable, and also they can actually experience the product as well. And I think on your second question, the play of the insurance agent, I think probably I would rephrase that on like more like the offline sales force in that sense. I would say they're going to play a very important role, because in the end of the day, insurance is, I think, one of the industry that cannot be fully digital. They need to have an offline assisted model as well, right? I think especially if you're talking about a very complex type of insurance product. So offline sales force will be very important to enable the financial inclusion, to enable the high adoption. And what we do here in QOALA is we actually build an application to enable the offline sales force to be able to make a living, and at the same time also being able to be part of this journey to create the financial inclusion.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank
for
you.
the
Okay, all right,
answers.
thank you.
Thank you, Pak Tommy Martin. And also thank you the question. And now next, there's still more question for KOALA. It coming from Vertex Venture. There are now so many insurtechs we know. How are you different from other insurtech startups, Pak Tommy?
Okay. All right. Thanks for the question. I think on this one, if you look at insurtech, it's a very broad keyword, right? And I think it differs through the distribution channel. And as we know, I think back then, insurtech is always associated with online marketplace. But in actual, you know, that's just a small part of insurtech, right? So I think insurtech is differentiated by distribution, but at the same time also from the value chain. Like there are certain insurtech companies that focus more on the back-end process for the insurance, whether it's to do with policy issuance, whether it's to do with the operational platform of the claim. Some of them are focused on the distribution, whether it's online, offline, and partnership with the other platform. But then if you try to like see the complexity when you try to multiply that to the other industry, because each industry, all of the industry in Indonesia or in the world actually need insurance, then you can see the complexity become more and more, right? Because I think every industry require a very different insurance kind of product. So I think with that, to be honest, in general, I would say insurtech at the current time, because it's still very at the early stage of the business, it tends to differ quite a lot, I would say, depending on the focus that they want to grow, right? Some insurtech may want to focus more towards the distribution. The other one may want to focus more towards a certain industry. But I think for us, I would say in QOALA, we are a bit all-rounded. So we actually providing a multi-channel. So we do online, we do offline, we do the partnership with the digital platform as well. But I think at the same time, we invest a lot of technology in building the backend services because, again, our hypothesis is we want to educate customer, right? And educating customer is not just about selling the product, but most importantly, it's about them being able to experience the insurance product. And therefore, we invest the technology to simplify the claim experience to create a better insurance product as well for the mass market.
Thank you, Pak Tommy. Thank you so much for the explanation, and also thank you SV Investment and Vertex Venture for the question. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for staying with us until now. Still more to come after this commercial break.
Indonesia, with million splendors and bountiful resources. Natural energy, progressing over time, has brought us to rapid growth. Out of these little hands, hope emerges, moving the wheels of economy and transforming Indonesia into a modernized era. MODAL RAKYAT exists as a peer-to-peer lending financial technology that lead the way for funders to reach micro, small, and medium commerce that spread throughout Indonesia. Our assistance will accelerate Indonesia's economic growth by providing a safe alternative to funding, attractive returns, and controlled risk level. MODAL RAKYAT brings convenience, provides solutions to make dreams come true, and contribute to the economy of Indonesia. MODAL RAKYAT, from the people to the people.
Well, that brings us to the end of all the terrific presentations, and I know you will be totally agree with me. They are fantastic. I think it calls for a round of applause now. Thank you. Thanks to all the founders of all these amazing startups for their in-depth insight into problems and opportunities you are addressing. We wish each of you all do very best in the long and a rewarding journey of success. And now, before we finish this event, we will have appreciation session to all of the startups participated in this Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1 2021. And first, on this appreciation session, we have MODAL RAKYAT. Next, we have OKHOME. And then we have ETANEE. And then we have KODI. These are four startups on the first batch of Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia. And Shinhan Futures Lab Indonesia also have second batch there are 4 startups to give appreciation. They are Job to Go. And the next we have ZI.CARE. Next we have KOALA. And also, lastly, we have QUIKS. Thank you all for the round of applause for all of the startup members from Shinhan Futures Lab, Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, participants, and all, we have had productive and inspiring time together. And this event about to come to the very end. And now I would leave you with a quote by Stuart Brand, an author and innovative thinker, who once said, "We can see the past, but not influence it. We can influence the future, but not see it." So let us all be guided by all the things we have learned and heard throughout this event and be able to see and influence our future. It's my pleasure to be the host on this Virtual RunNovation Day Chapter 1 2021. Thank you all for joining. Good afternoon. See you next time and keep healthy.